Hey guys, today I'm going to talk to you about the most ordinary, most innocent habit in your life. The one you always say, this could never happen to me about. Drinking water. Yes, you heard that right. I'm talking about the very thing you were taught to drink 8 glasses of every day. The thing you feel proud of yourself for finishing at the gym. The first thing that comes to mind when you say healthy lifestyle, and let me tell you this, after this video is over, you will never look at your glass the same way again, because water can kill you, and it does so with a smile on its face. Number 1. Maybe you're exercising right now, or you just finished. You've been sweating, you're feeling great. You tip that giant water bottle over your head and finish half of it in one breath. God, I'm so healthy, you think? Maybe you even open your phone and log 2 liters of water today into your calorie tracking app. But right at that moment, a silent panic begins inside your body. Because when you consume an excessive amount of water in a short period of time, the sodium concentration in your blood drops dramatically. This condition is called hyponatremia in medicine. Sounds pretty innocent, doesn't it? Hyponatremia. Like the name of a pastry, almost, but it isn't. In this condition, your cells begin to swell due to osmosis, especially your brain cells. The brain is locked inside a fixed space within the skull, so it has nowhere to expand. This leads you first to a headache, then nausea, then confusion. And if it isn't stopped, cerebral herniation occurs. The brainstem gets forced through the opening at the base of the skull. The brainstem, the one that controls your breathing and your heartbeat. Yes, that one. And at that point, there is no coming back. All of this can happen within just a few hours. In 2002, at the Boston Marathon, a woman named Cynthia Lucero lost her life for exactly this reason. She had drunk too much water after the race, not a little too much, just too fast and too much. And yet, people still walk out of the gym every single day and down liters of water because they learned that water is healthy. Yes, it is. That's when consumed in moderation. I drank too much water didn't have to be one of the most embarrassing reasons you'd ever have for ending up in the emergency room, but for some of you it will be. Number 2, you wake up in the morning, open your eyes. You stayed up late last night watching your show and your throat is dry. You stumble into the kitchen and drink a big glass of water on an empty stomach the moment you get up, maybe sitting, maybe standing. Maybe with your eyes barely open. You've seen this scene a million times on wellness accounts labeled morning routine. Influencers swear by it. Drink water on an empty stomach. It jumpstarts your metabolism, they say. If you're drinking that water ice cold, especially straight from the refrigerator, the vagus nerve, that magical nerve that regulates your heart, your gastrointestinal system, and your lungs, can be suddenly triggered by the cold stimulus and rarely but truly disrupt your heart rhythm. This is called Vasovagal syncope. In plain terms, you faint. As you faint, you smash your face into the kitchen counter and break a tooth or your nose. At that point, your neighbors hear nothing but ambulance sirens. And when the answer to why did they collapse turns out to be they drank cold water, a legend is born in the hospital hallway. Not a heroic ending, but certainly a unique story. Number 3. Let's get a little more technical now, because all of you think drinking water doesn't affect me. I'm healthy, especially runners and triathletes. Yes, I mean you. Because you're active, you tend to drink more water. And that actually puts you at greater risk. During exercise, you don't just lose water. You also lose electrolytes, sodium, potassium, magnesium, chloride. These leave your body through sweat, but you try to replace them with plain water, which means you're diluting the sodium that's already been reduced in your blood, dropping its concentration even further. And this doesn't happen in a single glass. It builds over several liters, slowly, insidiously. First, your legs feel heavy. You blame the workout. Then, dizziness sets in. You blame hunger. Then, you struggle to think clearly. You brush it off as tiredness. But your brain is genuinely struggling to transmit electrical signals because sodium is essential for ion channels, and you've diluted it. The most painful part is this. When these people arrive at the hospital, doctors initially scratch their heads because the patient says, "I drank too much water." And that sentence doesn't sound like a diagnosis, but it is. And the treatment is ironic. Give less water and administer a saline IV to slowly raise sodium levels back up. If you raise it too fast, you risk osmotic demyelination syndrome, another form of brain damage. So even the treatment is a danger. Did you ever think drinking water could be such a layered crime? Number 4. Let's talk about children for a moment, especially if there are any parents watching. Infants and small children have a far more sensitive sodium balance than adults. If a baby takes in too much water, especially if plain water is given instead of breast milk or formula, hyponatremia develops much faster and much more severely Because their kidneys don't yet have the capacity to excrete water efficiently, and babies can't say, "Mom, my head hurts." They just get fussy, they cry, or the opposite, they suddenly go quiet. Lethargy is a symptom of hyponatremia. You think the baby is sleeping, that's good, but it's not. And yet every summer there's a cousin, a neighbor, a grandfather who says, "Give the baby water in the heat." I've done it for years. Survival knowledge is sometimes passed down incorrectly from generation to generation, and in this case, the consequences can be devastating. Just as with everything involving your children, please call your pediatrician, not Google. And I want you to feel the weight of that, please, because I don't use it very often. Number 5. Now let's flip to the other side because this works both ways. It's not just too much water that kills you. Too little water does too, only much more slowly and in a much more interesting way. Dehydration, meaning the body losing water, is something you're all familiar with. It gives you a headache, makes you tired, you say. And yes, those are real. But truly serious dehydration increases blood viscosity, meaning it thickens your blood. That raises the risk of clotting, raises the risk of stroke, raises the risk of kidney stones, slows down intestinal transit. And its least talked about but strangest effect is this. When your body loses water, brain cells physically shrink, and this measurably reduces your capacity for emotional regulation. Meaning when you're dehydrated, you think more irritably, more aggressively, more pessimistically, and you don't even know it's happening. Did you snap at your boss that day? Did you have a fight with your partner? Did you say, "I just felt terrible today"? The question, "How many glasses of water did you drink?" might have been the most honest analysis of that day, but nobody asked it, because the connection between water and mood still gets almost no attention. You've been living for years thinking you're a bad person, when really, all you needed was a glass of water. Embarrassing and perfectly human at the same time. Number 6, and finally, this is the part that gets to me the most. When we talk about water, we also have to talk about what's in it. Because tap water contains chlorine. That protects you from germs. But in chlorinated water, byproducts called trihalomethanes form. And there is growing evidence that these compounds are linked to bladder cancer, colon cancer, and, according to some studies, pregnancy complications over the long term. Switched to bottled water? Great. Bottled water contains BPA, or the alternative plastic chemicals used in place of BPA, and these are endocrine disruptors, meaning they interfere with your hormonal system. Especially in plastic bottles left in the sun, the rate at which these chemicals leach into the water increases dramatically. So when you drink from that bottle you left in your car, you're essentially drinking a cocktail, a chemical cocktail. Did you get a filter? Which filter? Carbon filters don't catch bacteria. Reverse osmosis filters remove minerals. And mineral-free water can cause mineral deficiencies over time because water naturally carries magnesium and calcium. Strip those out, add in a poor diet on top, and your bone density has a party planned for itself. And this is exactly where you realize that drinking water, the most ordinary act in the world, is actually a balancing act. Too little or too much? When? Which water? How fast? How cold? From which container? You haven't been asking all these questions every time you pour a glass because nobody taught you to. They just said, "Drink 8 glasses," and left. That's why I'm here, because I love saying the things nobody else says, especially the small, terrifying truths hiding inside the everyday things you thought were harmless. From now on, when you go home and look at your glass, you're going to think, "How much is this? When should I drink it? Should it be cold? Which water is this?" And that's not paranoia. That's awareness. The difference matters. Paranoia paralyzes you. Awareness protects you. Don't stop drinking water. That's obviously not the point of this video. Just drink thoughtfully, not blindly. Listen to your body. Don't go to extremes. Keep track of your electrolytes. And please throw away that plastic bottle you left sitting in the sun in your car. That's my last request. The rest is up to you. If you'd like to watch more videos like this one, subscribe to my channel. See you next time.